What's up, folks? So I know there's going to be a ton of Warhammer Combat cards coming out here, but I do really want to make sure I'm following up with the X-Wing news, especially the stuff coming out of XWA, and there's a ton I want to cover. I want to talk about a lot of stuff, but I'm going to do a rapid-fire update on some of the things I've caught up with since I've been back. Ton out here, and this video is going to have a lot of links to follow up additional resources as well, so look for that. Number one, so just to recap, I was out of town for the entire month of July, just getting back into things. Limited access to internet, even though it was a working retreat. I just had kind of limited bandwidth. So finally getting back into things. We'll have a much more regular schedule of X-Wing content moving forward. But so on the 21st, the X-Wing Alliance, the XWA, had like an AMA announcement hosted on the 312 Squadron YouTube channel. Got it up here. Have not watched it. Need to catch on with that, but I'll link to it. Next up, Nick Sperry, the spokesperson for the XWA, also went on and did a really good interview with Kravik, and I did watch this one. Really cool. Couple kind of key highlights in there. One of the kind of most important standouts of this speech was that they did officially, or Nick officially confirmed that they are working on Epic. Epic scale ships, Epic gameplay. Paul Heaver, the rules lead, is actively working with community members and players and designing a future for that, which is super exciting. And I've seen people ask about huge and epic ships multiple times, both before and since. So it's cool to see that that's coming. Have that confirmed, and curious to see what happens. So I personally never played Epic. I really loved the Epic ships, but just could never justify getting those boxes. But I'm very pleased to know that they're there. So yeah, there's that. Very exciting. Next up, the X-Wing Alliance. Okay, there is a little drama here. So for the Chilean, I believe it was Chilean, I'll double check on that, Grand Tournament, the GT, which was won by a separatist list. We'll talk about that. There was a snafu where they went through all the process of becoming an official Grand Tournament with AMG, got confirmation, were waiting on prize support, and then never got the OP kit. Which, that sucks. That really freaking sucks. So I found about that. That doesn't just suck. That is like, that's real bad. That's a little knife in the wound there. Yeah, even I can't defend that one. That is a huge bummer, and I cannot believe that was allowed to happen. That is... Ooh. Anyway. But the same day that I found out about that, I also found out that the X-Wing Alliance officially announced that they were putting out their own Wave Zero tournament prize kit. Something kind of experimental, something they could put together, and something that's really cool to see because... one of my biggest concerns with the future of X-Wing is tournament play. One of my favorite things about it was swag. Of course, there's a social aspect, there's playing and the competitive play. Like, there are great things about competitive play, but the swag was a really nice perk and a cool thing to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I met this guy there. And it was really cool to see what the XWA was able to put together. And these are a group of people who have made physical releases of stuff before. So there are alt art cards, there are custom target locks, there are objective tokens, there are some really cool things, and the top winners get a modular card. There was a YouTube short I tried to find that I was going to play on this, but I can't find it. Just watch out for that. But let's see, 9 pilots, the 9 best, ooh, shots fired, pilots across all 7 factions. A TO will be able to select 2 or more of the 9 pilots to have a store champ, with unique prizing based on the pilots they chose, which is really cool. And these kits are 24 person, designed to be around that price, $70, 65 euros, or 55 pounds, for 24 people for an organized event, which is perfectly reasonable for a bunch of stuff. And they will let you check in if you do want to reach out for a smaller kit, or I imagine multiple kits if you need a larger one, which is really cool. Let's see. So, for example, you could choose Pilot A to be Vader and Pilot B to be Sunter Fel for all Empire. Or you could get respective Vaders plus Sunter specific, or yeah, you would get the respective Vader plus Sunter specific alt arts, upgrade cards, target locks. Choose one of the pilots for first place prize of a modular Vader or Sunter card. Yeah. So there will be a submission form soon where you can request this and get the physical stuff. I have seen the prototypes in that YouTube short again. They're really cool. So yeah, here we've got the upgrade cards, and this is a really cool one too because the pilot cards have themed upgrade cards. So the examples that were shown in the video is like if you choose Han Solo, the pirate alt art, you get, or pilot alt art, you get engine upgrade, the upgrade alt art, which is just a full art piece that has the rules printed on it, but it just looks really cool. So I really like that. And then the XWA thin metal objective markers are these ones here that we're very familiar with, but with the new X-Wing Alliance logo, which is awesome. And then we get the pilot or target lock tokens. Those are these right here. So they're very clearly red lock tokens that have the actual name and ship model on them. I really like these. It can be really hard to keep track of whose target lock is where, and this is a really nice way that shows both the name and the graphic to quickly reference who has locks on what. Love it. The upgrade cards are not on here yet, but yeah. Oh, here's the back side of the token. I really want pictures of this thing. I want to see more details. I saw a very quick demo of this stuff being snapped on, and it looked really cool because it was a three-dimensional piece with magnetic plates, and the magnetic plates would represent the shields, and then the actual rules for the pilot it was cool. It's very hard to describe, but they looked really awesome, and it's a really cool, very unique first place prize that I'd never seen before. So the biggest thing I'm excited about is this is an early test of a physical release designed to support tournament organizers moving forward with X-Wing, which is terrific. Yeah, very cool. I will also link to this in the things. Next up, we got official release from Infinite Arenas that they are doing pre-orders for reprinted damage decks. Official damage decks for X-Wing 2nd edition, 2.5 edition, with both the mini size and the full size. Yeah, actually, let's see. Damage deck, poker size, damage deck, mini size, damage. I'm not sure what the difference is between all of these. I guess, 8 decks. Oh, okay, cool. So you can get a multi-pack for a slight discount to hand out if you have a bunch of people in a group missing them, or if you want them for a tournament because they're a cool, like a nifty design. Yeah, really like that. So that's cool. I had a couple people comment and say that they were having trouble finding and sourcing damage decks, and this is a really nice way to kind of fill that gap. It's $6. That's really nice, and I imagine shipping is going to be a bit more, but still, that's cool. And you can talk to local shops if they're supporting X-Wing about picking this up and having just maybe the small pack of 8 on the shelf to see if some locals will pick them up too. So really love to see this. This also is more important than just the thing itself because this is a huge resource, having access to printed damage decks. But also it's just one more step in additional support for the game moving forward, where we have the official materials in a indefinitely printable way, assuming that Jim Bob at Infinite Arenas can keep up, which we hope. We'll see. Next up, I'm going to dive into this a little bit. I actually had a really great conversation with Nick Sperry the other day after my last talk about the unofficial ship points. A couple things I want to really highlight here and clarify. These are the 312 Squadron unofficial ship points. Nick Sperry's a part of the XWA. There are a couple of the other guys on the team who are also closely involved with the XWA, but these points are not in any way representative of what the XWA is working on. I want to be clear, no connection, nothing whatsoever. This is just, again, a draft of some of the points that a lot of the community members have been playing with as kind of a beta test to see what different points could look like. Really clear. No association with the XWA, technically. We're clear. Okay, and this is a slight revision. This, I'm told, is the final revision before the XWA is going to officially move forward to just support whatever points come out of the XWA. So 312 Squadron, this is their last version, their last draft that they're going to be testing with and playing with as just like a variant point format. Here we go. Let's see. Unofficial ship points document adjusted by 312 Squadron. In no way are these points intended for organized play use for the game of X-Wing. Not a points document from the XWA. Document is not for sale and is available to the public without monetary gain. We want to encourage a fresh experience of the game, and we believe these adjustments are a good start. Really enjoying this. Cool, squad builder. So that is a direct link to a squad builder, which will actually use these points. Ooh, that is cool. What happens if I click on that? We'll see that later, maybe. But that'll open a squad builder that in theory should use these points, but since it says don't log in, if you log in, I assume that will default you to the current official points, so don't log in. I'm just going to look at this real quick. I don't know. Ooh, okay, we got rules variants. That's new. Let's see, range 0. You may choose one variant. You can no longer do range 0 attacks at all. Wow. Or if the attack hits, the defender suffers 1 damage or critical damage if an uncancelled crit was rolled. So it can never do more than 1 damage crit, depending. Or you may choose to take a range 0 shot. If the attack hits, gain 1 strain or deplete token. So there's a cost to performing it. Okay. Interesting. Random order after Dawes Road. A player who has been first player 4 times in a row may force a reroll once they become first player again. Okay, interesting. It is force a reroll, so the randomness is still there, but that's a nice way to counter if there's really weird variance. I like that. All right. Chance engagement. Choose one. Half points are rounded up instead of down. Okay. Or you may claim the center point is if it were a satellite from Scramble, which I think reduces the coverage range. So instead of being up to range 1 to 2, it's range 1. Or 0 to 1, excuse me. Okay. All right. Scramble the transmissions. Satellites cannot be scrambled until turn 3. Ooh, so you can't flip the buttons early, which does give you a little more time to position so that the scenario does not completely dominate the snowball effect of the game before you actually get to position. That's cool. Or you may place on your side first instead of your opponent's. Okay. Yeah. All right. Assault on satellite array. When placing, there is no center point. Ooh. Place 4 total objectives, not 5, alternating by first player, or one ship cannot score the same satellite more than 2 turns in a row. Ooh. So you can't park big bases in a spot and just score off it forever. Okay. That's an interesting way to tweak those. Salvage. Choose 1 to 2. Number 1, there are only 3 objectives. Ooh, man, that'll get violent. You place on your side first. Number 2, a ship with 1 or more face-up damage cards cannot tow a crate. Oh, man. 3, a ship with 1 hull or fewer remaining and no shields left cannot tow a crate. Wow. That one I don't love because it gives a lot of advantage to ships with regen, but still, I like the attempt to balance that. 4, repositions cannot be performed while holding a crate, action or not. That's a subtle one. I like that. Ships that can still do a booster barrel roll because it's not a booster barrel roll action while towing a crate do feel a little bit outside the rules. So I would actually adopt that one personally. That's cool. Okay. Wait. Check here. Okay. Latest change indicator. I'm not sure I understand. So if I'm reading that correctly, that means that green is changed since the last points. I'm not going to go through these in detail. I want to take a quick glance at it. See the biggest thing I'm going to look at is what's been nerfed. This is actually going to take a while to go through. Let me right off the bat, I may actually need to ask what this is before I clarify. So I'm going to talk about these points in more detail later. Wanted to keep this a quick video. We'll come back to it. So yeah, cheers. Catching up, there will be more X-Wing content coming out, and there's some really exciting stuff going on, and a lot more going on that we're not hearing about or only hearing little bits and pieces about. So stay tuned. Cheers.